Hey Spuddies, Potato Whiskey here, and welcome back to Terra Invicta. And unfortunately, we're going to suffer some consequences here. I've already tried to play this chunk of the save file, and a lot of really bad stuff is about to start happening. Can we see the alien gigafleet yet? Has it arrived? Yeah, there it is. So there is a alien gigafleet. It has 66 ships in it with 23,000 combat power. Just to put that in perspective, my best fleet right now, I think, is the Alpha 14, that is transferring to low Earth orbit for combat. That has a combat rating of 500. So yeah, we're in a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure what I need to do to stop this. I think the most immediate thing that I need to do is get some of this alien technology finished ASAP, and then hopefully we might be able to make a difference here. I'm going to stop doing operations in space. I'm going to stop expanding my operations in space. I'm going to lay low and see if I can get the aliens to just chill out a little. One big problem we have is the United States. We need to break that up. We're going to have to research probably the fall of empires and try to break up the United States. India, we might actually be able to get control of because it has reduced in size. Like if I tried to do let's say a purge mission here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure with enough popular support, we could maybe start purging out some of the points in India because we can already get up to a 13%. So I'm going to start fighting for India. I would like control of India. That's another, it's nearly 1.3 billion people. So I think if I can start getting control of India, that's going to be a big factor for me. I'm less enamored with the need to unify Africa. I will still try, but I think my main objective now should be to try to boost public opinion in India, destroy alien nests, all that sort of jazz. And I think Europe has a little bit of unrest, so I'm going to get Bao Mi La to head up there and do a little bit of unrest reduction in Europe. So yeah, the aliens are going to start triggering a lot of retribution. They're heading to basically all of my bases around the system. I need to head into my ship development here. For ship construction, what am I producing? I'm producing De Gaulle class battleships in high Mars orbit. I'm going to actually cancel these. I don't know if that actually gets you the resources back, and it does. So that got me 1,000 rares back. But the reason that I did that is because I want to make my fleets cheaper. We also have access to alien technology now. That's good. We also have the ability to determine their purpose and their weakness. So we're stepping forward in a big way in our ability to actually fight the aliens. But I'm going to focus on Luna orbit, and I want to come in here. And my goal here is to design some incredibly, battleships are just more efficient, I think, is the problem that I'm running into here. Battleships just are more efficient. Like if we look at the time to build a cruiser here and the price compared to like an auto-designed gunship, I don't know. I need to bring the price in rares down for this. So let's use aluminum fin radiators. Otherwise we're going to use all these normal things. I think we definitely want to have the best engines we can for combat acceleration, 13 millig's, but we don't need much more than 100 delta V. So we can make this a little bit cheaper. All of this armor uses pretty rare resources, so I might make the boat out of steel just to save a little bit on the rares, because rares is kind of hard for me to come by at the moment and I need to have a lot banked. But this looks like a pretty reasonable ship. It's got a missile bay and a point defense. It's got pretty cheap tech, relatively cheap armor, but relatively heavily armored. This will be the grid class escort fighter. And now I immediately need to go to all of my shipyards, particularly around Luna. And we're going to start producing grid class escort fighters. And then I'm going to start doing the same thing around Mercury. Grid class escorts. Just mass producing ships around Mercury, because we need to be able to defend Mercury. The aliens are going to be launching an awful lot of, punishment battles. They're going to be clearing up a lot of my assets, so we're going to have to try to weather the storm. We can now get the layered defense array. That's going to factor into our plans a little bit as well. Yeah, some of my stations are getting blown up. A lot of our space assets are about to get targeted. We're just going to accept it because I don't think I can actually fight them. So there's electromagnetic propulsion. This will give us access to a whole bunch of new technologies. I think it would be good to clear up some of these older cheap techs like carbon nanotubes, electrothermal propulsion, and kinetics warfare doctrine. Let's do carbon nanotubes first. That might lead to useful technology down the line. I think my main thing though is that I'm focusing on getting some of these important alien techs done. China has declared war on Burkina Faso, which is not good. I should have had it be my ally in the European Union. I might just let them take over Burkina Faso. We might just have to let that happen. And I'm going to try to stop appeasing the powerful in the East African Federation. Instead, I'm going to start trying to build it up. Every single time we invest into the economy, we will increase the GDP by a lot. I think, let me see here. Yeah, 6.5 euro per person, which is 300 million people. That's a huge amount, or $6.5. So we're going to focus on increasing the economy and reducing inequality. So we're losing bases on Mars. We're losing stations basically everywhere. The aliens have launched a total counter counterforce, but I don't have the power to stand up to them. I might be able to hold my station on Luna. It all depends on Alpha 14 here. They arrive here in November. So then we have access to the nano factory, which also boosts the economy priority. What it does is it generates a little bit of cash in exchange for, you know, a few little bit of things here, mostly in the cost of rares. The monthly rares cost on that is actually pretty steep. But I would say I could give up a bit of mission control on Mercury in order to get nano factories, which would significantly increase my cash reserves. I don't know if it's necessary though. I will be looking to upgrade any construction modules that I have. I've got so much crap I need to research in here, Jesus. Let's get the layered defense array. It'll allow me to actually build defenses on my space stations. Not that it'll be ready in time, sadly. I should have maybe, see, if I knew the tech tree better, I would have been able to predict and protect against a lot of these things. But that's one of the big problems that I have with the game, actually, is that going in blind in a big, complicated game like this, you're going to make so many mistakes. So your first, like, campaign is very fraught and very stacked to fail, essentially. But the problem is the game doesn't give you the tools to learn the game within a single playthrough. And so what happens is you'll get to your point of failure and then have to start a new campaign. And then you'll get to your next new point of failure and have to start a new campaign because you made mistakes back in like year 3 of the game that now are affecting you year 30. So we've arrived in low Earth orbit. I do think we could take a fight with one of the fleets around Earth, but I think instead what we're going to do is we're going to retransfer back to L3, in particular the Dorothea L. Dix station, in order to try to protect it, because we can get there in 4 weeks and it's producing ships and they'll be ready in 34 days. They'll be grid class escort ships with a little bit of PD and a little bit of missiles. That might be helpful. If I can hold that station, it would be a huge, huge win. Now, I know this sounds like an insane idea though, but hear me out. What if I tried to build an army in Burkina Faso to defend against China? Our tech level is quite a bit lower. However, we do have a place we can retreat to and be safe in Abidjan. And if we had the Ivory Coast try to build an army as well, we could then just pump money into that to get it to finish faster. I don't know, maybe something worth trying. A good way to use a proxy war to weaken China, essentially. I really don't think it makes sense for the resistance to be targeting me, because it makes sense for humanity first and like all the extreme factions, but I don't understand. Alpha 14 has been captured. Let's try to evade. Maximum KPS bid. I don't think we win this battle. Right, so first things first with these battleships is I need to get them to turn around and start boosting in the other direction. We need to get our nose armor facing our enemy, so that'll take a moment. I'm also going to go to every single battleship and set their nose cannon to defend, so it'll focus on shooting down enemy missiles rather than shooting enemy ships. Basically turning the nose cannon into an extra point defense. The nose cannons have really, really good range and potentially really good PD capabilities. Let's have a look. What do we got? We got corvettes and destroyers. I'm going to set the Sojourner's primary target as Obsidian Sword. I will have the Concord target the Faithful Wanderer. Can I not? Oh wait, maybe I don't understand how this battle screen works. I don't know if I can set individual targets. Oh god, I'm lost. Hold on, De Gaulle. Okay. So let me see. Yeah, each one of them is targeting a different ship. I've got 2 of them targeting the destroyers and 2 of them targeting the corvettes. Now, one other thing that we need to do is we will actually want these guys to start moving closer together. So we have them facing this way. You're going to start moving slightly to the left. You're going to start... I need to rotate you, actually. Hold on. How do I do the rotation again? Yeah, and then I need you to... oh god, the angling on this can be a little bit awkward. I need you to point slightly down, although maybe that's a little bit too much. That way. And then I need you to... The De Gaulle, I need to do a dorsal spin, I think. No, not a dorsal spin. Is it a... Right. That should be fine. That should be fine. So we'll get everyone to spin around, point the right directions. They'll execute these maneuvers soon. To get my battleships pointed the right way, I'm going to retract radiators across my fleet. Radiators are incredibly vulnerable in combat. We're not generating much heat yet. I'll keep an eye on my heat. So I've got my battleships facing the right way. I'm trying to get them closer together so that their point defense will cooperate. I think we've begun launching. And we're launching at a variety of targets. Perfect. So you're boosting down towards him. I need the Sojourner to maybe do a slight roll. I need to get him pointed the right way. There we go. Okay, we got him pointed the right way. So the aliens are incoming. They're a lot faster than us, a lot more maneuverable. We are moving away from them, I guess, which gives us a little bit of an advantage. One big problem we have is our missiles are fighting against our current trajectory, because normally we would be moving towards our enemies, but I think the missiles are inheriting our current trajectory. We need to get our formation a little bit tighter. I really need you to point a different direction, because those missiles are coming, and they're coming for you. Okay, here they come. Okay, one battleship is dead. That's not good. Yeah, getting caught off guard by these guys like this is really bad for us. De Gaulle is dead. At least we might scratch a kill on one of these guys. Okay, we scratched a kill at least. God, we really are fighting against it here. We almost got that Thunderbolt. I think we got 2 kills, and that's totally fine. I mean, it's really bad. Ah, the game crashed. This is something I've been running into, is the game crashing. Really, really, really annoying. Okay, so unfortunately my game crashed after this battle. I'm going to go ahead and just accept combat and auto-resolve. Wait, what? My ship survived? Wait, what? Based? Hang on a minute. I escaped? Oh shit, get the hell out of there, boys! Oh shit. Alright, low Ceres orbit, so Ceres is fucked. I can't believe I survived that. I got away with murder there. How did you live, guys? What the I don't know. Listen, whenever I'm pressing that auto-resolve button every time now. I wanna see if they'll let me have an Earth station. I'm gonna try to found an orbital at the ISS station. We're starting to get up to reasonable crackdown success chance against India now. 40% is where I would consider to start gambling. The public opinion in here, I think we can get that up a little bit higher, so we will continue to press that. GDP has got up nearly $50 here. That's huge. If we can continue to push that GDP up, the nation should grow really, really fast. I feel like the population came down in here. Let me have a look here. What's our status with South Sudan? Let's see. 31st of March. Well, no, sorry. What is it? Let's see. When do we target? When will we have full control? 102 days we'll have full control of the East African Federation. What policies are available to Europe? I didn't know this button was here. Oh, we could federate with the Caribbean states. Okay, okay. Ratnakaran states. I think that's over here. We could give them this little chunk of land here. What's this called? St. Denis? This is a colony region, and so if we got rid of another colony region, we would bring our cohesion up. Let me quickly grab someone to do that policy. We're going to cede a piece of territory here from Europe. We want to basically we want the European landmass to be unified, like, together, and we don't want any colony regions. It's why I don't want Diyark back here, because that's also a colony region, which is not good. Okay, yeah, so they're not going to let me have a station around Earth, so they've fully decided to enact retribution against me, so they won't let me have a station around Earth because they're going to just blow it up. My fleet has arrived at Dorothea L station. Let's get Alpha 14. I need you to resupply. It's an expensive resupply, but it's worth it. Get resupplied and then just hold it fast and protect that station until we can get more ships out. We have another alien fleet targeting Alpha 14. We'll see what they do. Yeah, our Martian bases are getting blown up. Mercury, all right, we've got some grid class escorts coming online around Mercury. Huge amounts of grid class escorts just came online. Let's start another round of grid class escorts in particular. So this is one of the fleets that we have around Mercury, Alpha 25. This is the pretty reasonably strong fleet, actually, if we take a look at it. It has 3 battleships and 5 escort ships. If we take a look at the Alpha 25, Alpha 17, this is another 3 escorts around Mercury, so I have a pretty good fleet presence on Mercury, so I should be able to defend these holdings right here. And then around Luna, we have 3 battleships and 3 escorts, and we're building more. So we might be able to hold off some alien attacks. So we're going to not grant independence. I want to cede territory to the Ratnakaran states. Boom. And that should... Yep, there we go. Cohesion is now resting at 4.9 because we've managed to get rid of a lot of our colonial regions. So I've put Europe into a really, really good position now. Like, we're making 1.6k science per month. Our science rate is up to 35k per year. I think I'm going to have to start investing back into boost, or maybe building more armies here in the European Union. My boost income is getting crushed. We could also continue to just pump GDP. I really wish I could know why my unrest is at this level. Let me have a little think about this. Low cohesion and low quality of life. We have really good inequality. Our cohesion, I guess we just need to get our cohesion up a little. Let's continue to crank the economy. What is it? We have, we'll invest 10 points per month. That's worth 20 GDP each. That'll crank it for us. All right, crackdown percentage chance is 60%. Let's continue to do a little public campaigning. Our assets in Europe need protecting. Quickly grab Seamus Lenigan. Oh, he can't do it. I would really like a technology that extended the length of my defend interests by a week or 2 as the game went on. That would be something that would be quite nice in my opinion. Oh right, I forgot to give this guy all of his cybernetic modifications. I'm going to give everything but the loyalty monitor. This doesn't seem very good. To lower the loyalty by 5, but always to see his apparent loyalty. I'd rather he just actually liked working for me. One thing that I'm missing is I need to turn a counselor from the servants so I can figure out what they're doing. So let's start investigating some counselors in the hope that we can find a servant. There's the layered defense array, so now we can actually build defensive platforms on our space stations, and I'm going to immediately now go to my L3 station. They haven't actually blown this station up, they're just observing it. So let me have a look here. We have a layered defense array, it's 15 crew, 100 power, or sorry, 800 tons. We might not be able to fit this onto the shipyard. I think I would like to upgrade the nanofactory, but I would need to build a solar array. This might just have to be an undefended station. So let's have a look here. We can just like low Earth orbit cleanup. We can't afford to divert resources, so we could lower debris in all low Earth orbits by -1. Or we can pay a lot to remove a lot. -6. Let's do it by -3. That'll help reduce Kessler syndrome around the Earth. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alien Fleet Victor 191 is that Shakespeare station in medium Jupiter orbit. This is the alien Gigafleet. Holy shit, 14,000 power. Although I can't actually see where they are, but they're about to blow the station up. Yeah, that's a wrap for that one. So what's our success chance now at braking? 27%. Why did it go badly there? The aliens are pumping public support in India. So let's bring in a second agent to support this. Your persuasion is way weaker. Let me go ahead and have a look at you. You do have a bit of experience. Oh, wow. Did I not modify you? Well, let me go ahead and get all your little modifications underway and then give you a persuasion point. Yeah, now you've got a bit better success chance to try to persuade that country. So we've got an alien fleet in L3 Halo orbit, but hopefully the fact that my fleet is docked with the station means if they try to attack me, they will get retribution. This is only 2 ships, so I think we should be able to auto-resolve that pretty effectively. It looks like they're not looking to fight yet because they don't think they're strong enough, which is working. It's good for me, essentially. It looks like the aliens are very, very concerned with the fact that I'm trying to take this country from them. I'm going to start rolling crackdown missions. You don't have very good crackdown. What's your chance of persuasion? If you could get to 50%, no, that's no good. Esteban, your persuasion is really, really low as well. Alien technology has been completed. Since the moment we recovered it, our research and engineering divisions have been constantly requesting samples of the alien technology. Today alone, we've seen no less than 48 requests from everything to recovered databanks to simple bulkhead fasteners. This is understandable given that each item is a potential treasure trove of knowledge, both at a technological level, how does it operate and what is its purpose, and a chemical one, what was it created from and where. The recovered technology has begun to yield its secrets, the theoretical applications of which very much depend on our own intentions. Unfortunately, with such a finite amount of these alien artifacts at hand, we can now only scratch the surface of their alien potential. So this will update the codex with new information, past technology. We've completed the research alien technology objective. The tools of our invaders begin to give up their secrets. Every day I come to my desk and read excited messages from our research teams about how they've discovered the workings of some new piece of machinery. They talk elatedly about the new devices we might create, the new ships we might build. I find it all depressing. Hardly any of our researchers seem to grasp this distinction between science and technology. Yes, we are learning the mechanics of the alien designs, their mechanisms and working patterns, but we lack the theoretical framework that allows the aliens to conceive these designs in the first place. Without a proper scientific understanding, we are merely adopting their effort, aping their effort. More importantly, our researchers seem so drawn to the prospect of technological power that they're sparing no attention as to what it might be used for. Science and technology divorced from culture and civilization are mindless monsters. After all, aliens have these technologies too. And what have they used them for? Conquest, war, and death. I fear we should attempt to emulate the aliens' tools. We may become little different from them. So, we need to salvage an alien warship. So we need to engage and defeat an alien warship. And we've completed that. So we've already done that. Our own losses mirror theirs, despite the death toll morale is high, perhaps in the far future. So we have salvage alien ships. We need to research exotic materials, learn their purpose, learn their weaknesses, and ferrocite resistance. I also don't remember what else I was going to do. I'm burning cash pretty quickly here, which is unfortunate. I think I might need to go into orbit and make some changes to our Mercury Dyson sphere. Let's go to Mercury. And I think the big change I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nanofactory in every single one of these bases in lieu of an operations center. They use the same amount of power, so it shouldn't be a problem to do it. It'll take a while to get them replaced, but I think this will significantly reduce the cost of managing our operations in Mercury, because it's going to be a swing of -15 over here plus an additional 60. Plus I just have like an excess of mission control at the moment. I'm not making use of it because the aliens are just constantly fighting me and blowing me up. So reducing the cost of my operations in space, I think, is going to be a priority. And it also means that only one of these stations needs to survive for me to be able to rebuild, because every single one of them is construction capable. Plus it gives me a +1 bonus research to materials research. Right, so I've gone through every single station on Mercury, on the surface and in orbit, and I've given them a construction module. This will have a number of outcomes for us. Most importantly, it will lower the maintenance cost of each of these stations by about 55 per month, I think is what it all comes out to when it all comes together. Now, it will increase the amount of rares that I'm using per month, but I think we can survive on that front. A single nanofactory uses 1 rare per month, and I built a lot of them around Mercury, but this will significantly reduce my cash bleed, and most importantly, it'll also increase my ability to do material science. So that'll be really helpful. It'll be like a few percent in material science, and material science is an important category of science. It will take about a year for those changes to reflect. Is the only thing. So now I need to figure out their weaknesses. So let's go ahead and figure out what their weaknesses are. We won't learn this until September. Could I speed that up? The soonest I could get it is June. Well, we'll just go slow. They have not yet blown up my station around the ISS. I'm hoping to cool down the aliens' attacks. I haven't been expanding my stuff in space. I don't know what level of threat they consider me to be right now. It looks low. We have access to carbon nanotubes. This will allow us to do diamondoids, next generation aerospace and supercapacitors, also nanotube armor, nanotube radiators, compact solid core fission reactors. Let's have a look. There's still some cheap techs knocking around, like kinetic warfare doctrine. Might be good to have access to railguns, you never know. A variety of technology abilities might be useful. Nice, some more grid class escorts are coming online. Let's head back in here and continue to produce more. So we are concerned with Luna. Grid class escorts are my cheapest ship. Immediately throw up a bunch of those, and then if we go to Mercury, we will continue to produce more. These are just really, really cheap ships that are capable of fighting reasonably well. This is starting to look like a real battle fleet, right? We've got, what, 13 ships in it, 1,000 combat power. That should very easily be able to repel some fights around Mercury. There is an alien fleet here, but I don't want to leave the station. Yeah, the Twilight Blade. I want to keep my station safe. So we're not going to go and engage. They are continuing to bombard me. What I really need to know is, like, what threat level do the aliens actually consider me to be? Oh, we found a servant. We found a servant. So what we want to do is we want to try to turn this counselor. So let's start investigating him again. We need to get better knowledge of his loyalty. So I'll spend a little bit of points to get good control of him. And who is my other biggest threat? I really need to find a protectorate target. So anyone in the USA? No, I don't spot anyone in the USA. If I could find a protectorate target and turn them to my side, that would give me a lot of knowledge about the pro-alien factions. Although maybe Humanity First is also a good target, so I can figure out what they're up to. So compact solid core fission reactors are now available. Yeah, more bases are getting bombed out, unfortunate. We can now research the exotic materials project. I might set that as my priority. No, I don't know. Let's focus on prioritizing, figuring out what their weaknesses are. Right, we've researched saltwater batteries. I'm hoping that these new battery techs will just make me make better ships. I do definitely want to get the Skunk Works tech researched, though. This seems like it would be pretty damn good for being able to increase my research rate. Awesome. So we turned an agent from the servants. I should have done this a lot earlier in the game because I didn't actually realize how that worked. But that's part of like the learning curve of the game. I knew some really, really basic stuff. So now this guy is turned to us. I'm going to set his fail success chance to 0. We know he's producing 200 signs a month on his own. Damn, that's actually really impressive because he's like a high up agent. So we know he has really, really good stats. And we know what he's up to. Now, I think what this will hopefully do is let us know more about the servants. So yeah, look, we know exactly who their counselors are, where they're acting. We know exactly... we know exactly what their resources are. We know exactly what their objectives are. We know what their relations are perfectly. We know exactly what their tech is. They're working on commercial research and hydro diplomacy, transnational coordination. We know everything about them because we've penetrated them. So I think also getting control of the Protectorate might be good, or maybe the Resistance or Humanity First, one of those other factions that I'm at war with. My hope is that maybe by cooling off my operations against a bunch of people will stop being at war with me. Everyone is at war with me right now, which is not good. I need to find an alien to figure out how much of a threat they suspect me to be, because they're still taking actions against me. Let's go ahead and set national priority inside the East African Federation so that we can merge South Sudan in. I totally forgot to actually capture the final control point in the Great Lakes. So, you know, that was a bit of a mistake. We'll get that sorted. We have managed to significantly increase the GDP here in the East African Federation. It's up by about 50 $50 GDP per capita per month right now. And inequality is slowly ticking down. I think I need to bring up my popular support inside the European Union to try to lower unrest, because I think people get a little bit upset. So Karen Ganbari, I just always see what him and his faction are doing now. That is such a huge advantage. I should have been doing that a long time ago. That sort of knowledge is really valuable. And I think I get secondhand knowledge too, because I see a lot of extra agents. One thing I would really like to do is to investigate maybe a resistance agent. It would be good to know what the resistance are up to. And I need to find an alien. I need to find another alien. He's got a 59% chance of purging them out of the Ivory Coast. Okay, another low Mars orbit fleet has arrived. And they're bombarding my bases. Great. God damn it, they stole my ISS base. Looks like, yeah, I guess we just can't really do much around the orbit of Earth right now until we have control of that. There's a huge amount of alien ships just on the way to the inner solar system, in particular around Mercury. They're also heading towards Venus, it seems. Venus, Earth is getting a target. Victoria will arrive in May. You'll arrive in July. You arrive in April next year. You arrive in October next year, or October this year, rather. So let's see. Reverse engineered alien small arms. Our armies will do 25% bonus damage to human armies. That would give us a huge advantage in ground combat. Nanofactory has been completed in low Mercury orbit. That's good. So these nanofactories are going to start giving me bonuses towards this tech. It's a very small amount, but it will add up over the course of the game. I got more Copperhead missile bays. I'm hoping that maybe by researching these missiles, I'll find a missile tech that is like really, really damn good. I don't know, we'll just experiment. I'm in the experimentation phase still with the game. I don't know what will work. Right, so we managed to purge them out of the Ivory Coast, so I should now be able to merge these two countries together. And the big advantage there is that I've been putting points into making an army, so we should see these guys spawn an army. Let's go ahead and set national priority. Boom, merge those countries. Oh, GDP is shooting up in the East African Federation. It's up nearly 146 GDP per capita last month. We should start to see these investment points like skyrocket. 60% chance of a successful crackdown on a Project Exodus control point in India is well worth taking. It does require a full send on resources there. I'm starting to see a big downside to merging superstate is that in the mid to late game, there's a little bit of inefficiency in like control, because smaller countries actually give you more efficient amounts of like these points, the investment points, whereas large countries, sure, there are advantages to large countries, but it's not all advantages. There are downsides. Nice, some more ships just got launched, an entire new fleet. Let's go ahead and continue to produce. We are burning through a lot of our materials to make this, but I think we're going to upgrade the grid class. So let's take the grid class escort. We will do an upgrade in terms of power modules. I think we can very easily slap on a new power module that will bring down the tonnage quite a bit and lower the cost of this ship. Like what we had was a solid core 3, and by putting this new engine on, we should actually increase our delta V slightly. Speaking of delta V, we want to get up to about 100 delta V. Ooh, that's a lot of tonnage though. What have we got in terms of weapons that we could put in? We did get new, what's this? This is a potassium heat sink. Heavy potassium heat sink. Has twice the capacity, twice the cost, twice the weight. I don't think we need a heavy, I think ECM is fine. What about our hull weapons? So what do we got here? We got heavy torpedo bays. Torpedoes are very slow is my problem with them. I like them, they're cool, but they're very, very slow. We're currently using Viper missiles. We have Copperheads. Copperheads are a bit slower. I think speed is everything when it comes to Viper missile bay. Speed or total volume of fire. Like the Anaconda missile bay, the fact that it fires 3 shots per salvo is like really, really good. But I think we found reasonable success with this. I think rather than having ECM, maybe it would be better to have a magazine in here so that we have 2 shots. Ah, this would be an invalid refit though. Not that I care about the refit though, do I? I just want to have an extra round of shots with the Viper missile bay. So this would be the Grid Mark II using a slightly better propulsion, and it comes with a magazine now, so I think we'll take that. There's not a huge amount of difference, but it does save a little bit of fizzles, a little bit of this. You know, it's slightly cheaper in some ways, but slightly more expensive in other ways. The more important thing is that it has twice as much ammunition. So let's get more of those in production around Luna, and then continue to produce an insane amount of these around Mercury to try to protect ourselves. Okay, our fleets are merged up. We do have 3 very combat capable fleets, ranging from like 1.2k to 1.3k, and then this one is like 500. So I think we have the capability of fighting a little bit. Let's seek unification with Burkina Faso, and now Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso have merged, which should mean their population has now merged. and we can start looking to maybe unify in another country. This will make it easier for me to handle unrest here. It will lower the GDP, but it'll increase, or GDP per capita will increase the total GDP. We will need to start building up this country even more. Yeah, but we need to get some armies in here. So I'm expecting a battle with the aliens in the not too distant future. We did just get Rattler missiles, which I think might actually be a major upgrade. Let's go ahead and take a look at our ship designs. If we take this grid, let's take the basic grid class escort, and we were to instead put a Rattler on it, its combat power goes down. Why is that? So it was using the Viper missile bay. They do 44.9 damage. They have 5.5 things. Rattlers are so much faster is the thing. They have a lot less delta V though. Rattlers fire 3 shots. They do a lot less damage. That's the main thing. But I think the big advantage of Rattlers is, sure enough, they have a fragmentation warhead, but they're so much faster. 7.5 Gs is huge. 50% faster than these, which means they'll reach their target sooner, means they'll hit sooner. They may not do as much damage. God, the big advantage here feels like that they shoot 3 shots, which means more point defense laser arrays would be needed to overwhelm their combat power. To be fair, the Viper missiles have been working for me, so I'm not going to rock the boat right now. I'm going to go through and delete any of my old ship designs that we're not currently using. I think I'm totally fine with that. Okay, so an alien fleet has landed in low Mercury orbit. A few have. Teresa of Avila has been hit. Let's have a look. So I think they're going to start blowing up my assets around Mercury. They have a few fleets here. The main thing is we need to protect our shipyard though. So let's see what they do. So it looks like they've merged this whole thing into a single fleet. I think we might be able to take this on now that they've merged it into a single fleet. Let's do a transfer and see if we can catch them. In 18 hours we can catch them. They haven't fully kicked me out of Jupiter yet. Okay, looks like our fleets are engaged. Let's engage. Both fleets are willing to fight. I'd like to fight this on the battlefield just to see how it goes off. This was not the formation I meant to have. Let's auto-control the fleet and just see how it plays out. Okay, Escort Mammoth has taken hits. Escort Mammoth is about to blow. So here's a big problem that I'm seeing with the autofighter. All of our ships are targeting a single enemy vessel, right? When missiles should be flying at every single enemy vessel right now. But they're not. They're all targeting a single one. Which is not good because we're scoring less hits than we should. And we're not winning as hard as we should. So let's go ahead and reload to the combat auto-resolve. And I'm just going to auto-resolve it. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and engage and do an auto-resolve and see how things go. Okay. Now what if I were to manage this battle myself? So okay, so we see the auto-resolve didn't go amazingly. We're in experimental phase because I just don't really understand what decisions I should make around combat. Let's try something new. So what I want are my point defenses to overlap because my ships are designed to protect each other with point defense. That is like the design of my fleet. Everyone has a missile bay to shoot at someone, and everyone has a point defense to defend itself and nearby ships. Right, so we're going to put our heavy ships in the center of a tight cloud formation, and we're going to engage. We're going to start the battle. So let's have a look at this cloud formation that we have. Our battleships are in the center. We are up against a variety of enemy ships. Looks like 2 destroyers, 3 destroyers, 4 corvettes, and a frigate. So I wish I could I wish these guys were closer together. Let's retract all radiators. We don't need radiators in combat. We don't generate enough heat as far as I can tell. Oh, we have monitors. These aren't battleships. Okay, well that makes sense. It's a good thing I put my monitors in the center because they have no defense against missiles. Yep. Let's get the monitors to target down the destroyers. I want you to destroy Divine Justice. I want you on the destroyer Arrow Wind. And I want you on the destroyer Brave Wind. Now, how many escorts do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15 escorts and another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships to take care of. So I think I'm going to have 5 of them targeting the Whispering Veil, and then another 2 each for each of the corvettes. And then hopefully this battle will go a little bit more in my favor. I'm expecting serious losses. All right, I wish these guys had the magazine instead of the marine. That was a mistake I made, but I am learning a lot about ship design. So yeah, I think we're just going to go full steam ahead. Let's try to tighten our formation. I need to figure out how the rolling works. So I want this ship to roll 90 degrees to the left, like this, so that I can point its engines upwards. And you can see the line, the green line, that's it changing its trajectory. If I can just get like a couple of kilometers tighter in formation, it might be the difference that I need. See, I don't want a full rotation, I just want a partial. So let me see, can I see if I do this? Yeah, we just do a partial rotation upwards. Formation is pretty tight in the center. We just have a few sort of wacky dudes here or there. Okay, let's get started. I think this is a reasonable set of orders. Everyone has a priority target. Let's actually extend radiators once we get started. The AI are looking to do some border crossing type stuff. They're not yet inside our bubble of influence. So we're just going for a raw, total amount of firepower at the enemy. Missiles have already begun to launch. That's good news. They have begun to fire. Their missiles are firing. I can't tell if those are bullets or missiles. We absolutely cannot do evasive maneuvers, unfortunately. We're going to take heavy losses here. There is absolutely no way that we're not. At the very least, very least, we do have a significant amount of point defense and a massive cloud of missiles aiming for every single one. We've already lost a ship. That's okay. Every single one of these enemy ships should have missiles targeting them. Point defense is going off. So is our point defense, right? We might get a strike here. Not much of a strike on him. Big strikes. One kill. We scratched one. Potential scratch on another. Another bogey down. Another bogey down. Multiple enemy ships down. I'm going to automate my fleet now. Let them do what they can. I think we're out of missiles. If I had 2 volleys of missiles... Unfortunately, we're just out of missiles. So these escorts really do need that second volley of fire. Damn. If only I had built them with a magazine instead of a marine barracks in them. Or instead of an ECM. I really didn't need that ECM. A second volley of missiles would have been the difference here. So I think he's just going to go around and pick off all of our ships. But we learned a little bit of something about ship combat, at least. This just really goes to show you how badly our ships do against alien ships. We are truly defenseless. This was Earth's finest fleet. And it was obliterated by what you might consider to be a scouting party. An alien scouting party obliterated what was my strongest fleet that I built in this game so far. It wasn't even close. I mean, we scratched a lot of the enemy ships. Like, we killed a lot, but that is not an effective trade. We really need better drive technology. We really need better technology in general. Mercury is under threat now. We can go ahead and steal an org though. Let's have a look at which ones are available. Vega Engineering seems like it'd be quite good to get. Omega Laboratories is quite powerful. Royal Capital seems pretty strong too, +6. I'm going to yoink Royal Capital. Alright, I'm going to accept that loss. Nothing I can do about it. Let's go ahead and give this guy Royal Capital. That should bring him up to almost maximum organization capacity. Armed vigilantes are accosting aliens looking for alien threats. So this would increase unrest of the European by 3, but it would reveal any alien activities in the region. I think I'll just pay them money to get them to stop. That's fine by me. I just want to avoid negative consequences. New nanofactories are coming online. That's hopefully going to start easing off our costs here. So let's make Upper Guinea rival Ivory Coast. And then this will hopefully, yeah, what I want to do is a direct investment here of 11, sorry, not into the military, into build army, so that we can instantly get an army deployed. And now I think we just need to get these guys to stop being allied with the European Union. I will let them be allied with Russia though, and then I want you to stop being allied with Russia. And then I think maybe I've done the diplomatic manipulation that I need. Yes, so now I can declare war on Upper Guinea. And because I'm in control of Russia, I don't actually have to use Russia to defend that country. Instead, I can use a European army plus the Ivory and Coast army to unify this country. Now that might cause long-term cohesion problems. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. I think unifying these areas militarily is just going to be faster than doing it any other way. But one of the first African armies has come online. One thing that we need to think about is getting control of Ethiopia. Ethiopia is going to be the founder of the African Unity Project, so they're going to be important to get control of. Let's take control of Senegambia, and then I want you to come in here and declare war on that nation so we can unify them. What's your chance of crackdown in India? 62%. Let's do one more public campaign. That seems okay to me. What's our chance of cracking down here? 12%. That's quite low. Unrest here is fine. Unrest here. That's lower unrest in the European Union. It's trying to keep our countries in really good shape. European GDP has increased quite a bit in the last few months. How's the African GDP? We're up to 700 billion, 2.3k GDP per capita, looking a little bit better. Inequality is coming down. And actually the East African Federation now is a 3-star nation. What are the spoils looking like? Oh, looks like I've got a little bit of a spoils bug. That's okay. Wilberforce Station in extreme Mercury orbit is under construction. Let's see what they decide to do. Yep, they're taking out a little bit of my stations up there. That's fine. The effective GDP, the performance of its armies by 0.1 Miltech value. So let's go ahead and keep you in stock there. Oh, they're taking out my last base on Mars, which means my mining income is getting really, really weak. So what's the status of Mercury? We've got a single alien fleet around here. Where are you heading? Victor 215 is heading where? So they're heading back to low Vesta orbit. So it looks like they think they have dealt with the problem here. Alpha 17 is still here. Let's send Alpha 17 after Victor 198. Let's go to maximum Delta V expenditure. It'll take 2.5 days to get there, but we might be able to stop the destruction of our satellites around this planet. Our target changed their course, so Alpha 17 can no longer target. Where are you heading? You're heading to low Mercury orbit. Oh, you bastard. I think he's heading after our shipyard, isn't he? Oh, he's blowing up Mercury bases. Chase him down. Yeah, they blew up another base on Mercury. God damn it. Now where's that fleet heading? Low Vesta orbit. So I guess they performed their retribution on Mercury and then just left. What absolute assholes. Here's the thing though. Mercury is an amazing base of control because there's just a ton of metal and enough of volatiles to actually fuel a space economy. So as long as we can hold Mercury for a while, I think we might be in okay space. Let's get these bases rebuilt. So the basic thing was a settlement mining complex, 2 farms, a solar array providing us most of the power that we need, enough operation centers for this place to pay for itself, and then we'll build a nano factory and I really want a skunk works, but maybe layered defense arrays. I think skunk works are the best, and we'll try to defend with our ships. I don't know, point defense seems very, very hard to actually make work. So I'm 99% sure this is an alien. Let's go ahead and investigate him. I want to know more about how the aliens feel about me. We're now losing noble metals, so we're going to have to figure out a way to get more of them back. Government of Ivory Coast was implicated in war crimes. Let's see, pay 5k. I'll pay them money, but I really don't want to commit an atrocity. Okay, cool. So we found an alien agent. This should give us a better read on the aliens' threat level on us. Yeah, my bases have been murdered. I'm going to have to deal with that. Did they really blow up all my stations around here? They did. So I have no presence on Mars where I was getting the majority of my rares from. Not good. Not good at all. I'll rebuild a small outpost base that'll hopefully be able to push towards the direction I need it to be. Unfortunately, they're crippling my project capacity by blowing up all these stations on me. They've taken it down already significantly. They're just blowing up all my stations around Mercury, and I don't really know how I stop them because I can't catch their fleets. Their fleets are too fast. At least one of their fleets is leaving, but they're still... Yeah, I don't think I can catch them. I can't stop them from doing this. They've just blown up so many of my stations. Like if we check out the orbits, 3 stations from here, 3 stations from here, 1 station from here, 3 stations from here. They've just blown up so much, and now there's like debris everywhere. 38 dangerous clouds. Ugh. I'm gonna have to start building defenses on these stations, I think. And I don't really have the spare resources to do this right now, but I think I have to build point defense arrays. Right, so we're just about finished going through and adding a defense array to every single one of these stations. My hope is that this means that aliens just don't blow them up for free, and maybe there'll be a little bit of a cost to attacking them. And once those defense arrays are back online, we will consider re-expanding our operations here, but more importantly, we also need to consider how the hell we're going to get some rare metals. I am building a base on Mars and stuff like that. Maybe we can start searching asteroids for potential rares. Like Nyassa has a good chance of rares, so if we can maybe set up a fortress on Nyassa, a mining fortress, maybe that's what we need to do. Regardless, I will need to figure out a solution to my rare problem soon, because I will not be able to sustain myself. So there's 3 stations around Mercury, the Sun-Mercury interface. I think I'm going to found some new orbitals there. Maybe I'll actually get started on the Venus ones. Those ones are a little bit cheaper because we don't have to go an extra point down. Why can't I rename this station? This is a resupply station. So it'll need a solar array. It'll need a nano factory, a single shipyard. Boom, boom, boom. Nano factory shipyard, that's our construction stuff. Shipyard will allow us to resupply and refit ships that land here. Now this itself takes 3 mission control. So we'll want some mission control. Let's get a solar array, boom. 2, 3 mission control. That's going to require another solar array. So this station now pays for itself in terms of mission control. What else do we want to put here? Did we build our farm? No. We could probably do with 2 farms. So we'll do a solar array with a farm and a layered point defense. And this station is basically just a resupply station in space. But I'm not going to build too many of these, but they are going to formulate part of my plans. to fortify the central solar system. My plan is to have a resupply base at every L here. L5, L4, L3, and these will be inner solar system resupply bases that are basically just designed to be places where I can station fleets, where I can resupply fleets, but also be stuff that the aliens have to take care of, right? They have to send fleets there to deal with that if they want. I have multiple places I can retreat to, and they're self-sufficient in terms of mission control and all that sort of jazz. So I might be able to capture Victor 223. It'll take me 19 hours to get to him, and he's just started bombing a base in Mercury. They're blowing it up, they're blowing it up. Oh, there's the plasma wave drive. We've researched the new drive. It has a really high exhaust velocity, but a really low thrust. Look, it might just be in the right sort of direction that we need to go in terms of project tech. Okay, we are going to engage. We're going for... We'll spend like half our Delta V to catch him. Okay, where did he go? When are you available? You're available in a few hours. So let's let time pass. We might break off a smaller fleet so that he might be more willing to engage in combat. Maybe send 3 of these coursers after him. Let's try to bait them into combat by sending 3 of our corvettes against his 1 corvette. He might be willing to take that battle. I just need to get him out of orbit of this goddamn base because he's doing damage. But our ships should have like 72 missiles to fire at him, which might be enough to take him out. Both fleets are willing to fight. Let's start the battle. The main thing here is to just immediately have everyone converge to the right so that we or converge to the center so our point defense has better overlap. And let's go. Otherwise, the only thing that we're relying on is overwhelming volley of missile fire. We have 24 missiles per ship at extreme range. Trying to get these guys to converge together as tightly as possible so their point defense for any potential missiles overlap as tightly as possible as well. Come on. Full thrust to the right, please. Hold on. Why aren't you guys shooting? I never gave them a priority target. Okay, we scratched a couple of quick hits on them. Very nice. Okay, so I think we lost a ship for no reason there. However, I will trade one of my corvettes for an alien corvette every day of the week. That absolutely was just a good trade for me. Nice, we picked up a bit of alien resources. Most importantly, Mercury is safe. Mercury is protected, at least temporarily. Finally, we managed to pull off a crackdown in India. We might now be able to yoink a point there. Dockyard Luna A, new protectorate fleets. That's not good, because they might start looking to go to war with me in space. Let's sabotage their transnational coordination technology. We stole a bit of science. We set back to their research. Awesome. I think I should maybe start targeting other organizations. I focus so much on the dude. They did a coup in the Ivory Coast. That's okay. We'll counter coup. So a bunch of new alien fleets have landed in base. My layered defense arrays, how long until they're up? End of October. So we can't really defend high Mercury orbit. We can defend low Mercury orbit. There's more fleets coming. The good news is the fleets that they're sending aren't very strong yet. There's a huge giga fleet coming though. Wait, alien fleet arrived in low Mercury orbit. That means we should be able to engage them. Let me have a look. What fleet do we have in low Mercury orbit? We have what looks to be a 400 combat power fleet, 2 corvettes and a gunship. All right, let's take these fleets. Let's merge them up. 2 corvettes and a gunship. So that's about that much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships. If I add about this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ships for Alpha 62 should be at a power level where the alien will be willing to engage us, but we're strong enough to actually stop them. Take us 13 hours to engage them. So we're ready to engage. Let's accept combat. Oh, they're actually unwilling to engage. Hang on. Let's transfer out a old grid class 1, 2, 3. A pair of old grid classes to lower the power level of this fleet. And then we'll send them to engage. It looks like they're only willing to take fights they can win easily, which is understandable. They're maneuvering to avoid combat. That's an interesting choice. Let's offer to spend most of our Delta V. It's really frustrating. So I'm just not going to be able to capture aliens for a while. I need better drives. This is why I keep talking about the need for drive tech. I think, though, that'll be a good place to end off this episode. We've made significant progress, in particular, in our space infrastructure, rebuilding. And we're going to start maybe seeing dividends in actual space construction technology, because I need to start fighting a war in space. The big thing that I need to get done, though, is to figure out their weakness. And that's going to be exactly what we work on the next episode. We're going to work on exotic materials, their purpose, and ferrocite resistance. We're going to work on all 4 of these projects and hopefully get them banged out in the next one. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.